Speed is just the absolute value of velocity, and you guys know what that is because I taught you guys physics, right? We know that, well, most of you guys know it, but velocity is a vector, right? And that vector has a magnitude and a direction. And then speed is just the magnitude. So sometimes our velocities will yield a negative value depending on how you orientate your XY plane. And so the absolute value of that is the velocity. So for example number 3, it says a student walks around in front of a motion detector and records her velocity at 1 second intervals for 36 seconds. She stores the data in a graph, and here's the graph over here, and I'll continue to read. She stores the data in the graph on her graphing calculator and generates a time velocity graph shown in figure 2.3. When is her speed at its maximum? So the velocity graph, when is her speed at the maximum? Yeah, see, so that's the clue, right? The maximum value, in other words, when she speeds up, her velocity increases, and then there's no change in her velocity. But she maintains the velocity, and that's pretty fast, but she's moving in the positive direction. And then she turns around and starts to walk back towards the detector. And when she does that, then it becomes a negative velocity, right? Actually, if this is velocity versus time, her velocity increases. The slope of this represents the acceleration. So she's accelerating, accelerating, accelerating. Then at this point, she's decelerating, slowing down. Her velocity slowing down. At this particular point, her velocity is 0. Then she turns around and starts heading back. But her greatest speed is a velocity in the negative direction. So at this point here is when her speed is the greatest, which is about 5.5 seconds is what it looks like. Okay? So it says, what is her speed maximum? Well, the student moves forward at first for 14 seconds, then moves back for the next 12 seconds and stands still for 6 seconds, then moves forward again. She achieves her maximum speed at t equals 20 while moving backwards. Does that make sense? Well, I don't know why they gave a specific, I don't know what they're counting by. How did they get 20 seconds? Are they counting by? They're counting, it's 36 seconds, so whatever, so it's each one of these hash marks, I think represents 4 seconds or something. So you have 1, 2, 3, from the domain of the window, the x value for the window is -4 to 36. So this is at 36 seconds, so right about here is 20 seconds. Does that make sense?